Now, of course, this is an upgrade kit for the CSL DD, which I have here. That's the old QR1, and this is the new QR2. Now, obviously, what makes this interesting is this is not a Fanatec product. This is from a company called SIMUBE. And when I bought this a few weeks ago, when I bought it, it was basically about half the price as what Fanatec are selling their kits for to upgrade this CSL DD. So that certainly is a more interesting prospect using, a third-party option. And that's why I picked it up. And the other reason why I bought this was to see if upgrading my CSL DD has any tangible benefits from going from the original QR1 to the QR2. So we've got a couple of objectives in this video. Since I don't have an original Fanatec version of this to test out, this is essentially a blind taste test on the quality of this. But I think you can see here, this looks pretty good. Yes, aluminium, solid. Everything looks perfectly made to me. Maybe you can tell me if you have a Fanatec QR2. What do you reckon? Does this look like what you're using? An original one? So yeah, it looks pretty damn good to me. Goes in like that. It feels solid. I need to get it mounted to get a bit more pressure on it to see what it's like, but I can't feel any looseness. That just feels great. We also get a replacement collar piece as well. So that replaces this piece on this one, on my original one. And of course you got all the bits and pieces. It's all looking really good. It's also interesting about this is how easy it plugs in, because it is just like a USB socket at the end of the wheelbase, and then just this plug on the end. So it just plugs in there, easy replacement. Okay, so let's get on and put this into this. Get a nice long torque key with this, as it does take quite a lot of force to remove this bolt. It is very tight. So let's give this a go. It's loose. Let's pull this off. Easy as that. That comes off, and there you have it. Let's check out the length between these two. It's pretty similar, slightly shorter, but not by much. And I guess just plug this in. You can see the USB socket down there. Just line it up. And it's seated. Get the new collar and screw this on. I think that should do it. Now all I need to do is fit this onto the wheel. Briefly, I'm going to show you a before and after. With the Q&R, just eyeball where I'm pointing. There's a fraction of play between the connection. With this addition of an elastic band, I find this helps a lot to reduce the loose elements. So just sharing that simple tip. And now with the SIMUBE QR2, the wheel and base side fit together perfectly. There's absolutely no play here. Unless someone can prove otherwise, I believe the SIMUBE QR2 comes from the same assembly line that produces the QR2 sold by Fanatec. After studying what I have here against other material, including Fanatec's website, I've concluded if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then indeed it is an original Fanatec QR2, simply bearing a different brand name. So that's what I'm claiming. It's exactly the same product, but substantially cheaper than buying from Fanatec. On this premise, for my hard-earned money, it's a no-brainer. If you want to upgrade your CSL DD or CSL DD Pro to the new QR2 standard, get this, make the saving. And the same goes for if you just need some extra wheel side adapters, get them from AliExpress too. It's that simple. Now, regarding the other question, is it worth upgrading to the QR2 from the QR1? Well, it depends. If you're experiencing no issues with your existing QR1 setup, there's no major benefit, at least when considering the CSL range of wheelbases. If you have a more powerful podium wheelbase, then I would suggest it makes a lot more sense, as the QR2 is a more solid quick release connection, and certainly that's an advantage because you are handling higher torque. If your QR1 is slack to the point where you're getting knocking noises from the quick release, then the QR2 will solve that issue immediately, and then it's definitely worth swapping out to the QR2. I should also add, I've never experienced any problems with my QR1. It's done the job just fine over the years, but I can tell it is stiffer with the QR2, and it's most definitely a much better system. I've read a posted comment suggesting the delivery of the force feedback is improved with the QR2. Now, that may also depend if you're having problems with the QR1 in the first place. Because I ran some laps with the QR1 before installing the QR2, I looked hard into this and I can't tell a difference. The force feedback doesn't feel like it has more detail, but feel free to drop a comment if your experience from going from the QR1 to the QR2 is different to mine. But again, let me just stress, I've never had any issues with the QR1. I know it's not amazing, but it still works okay with my CSL DD, even at 8 Newton meters. My overall impression of the QR2 is I really do like it. It's a great design, and built into the design is a feature that blocks attaching the wheel the wrong way round. This prevents the risk of bending the pins, but do be extra careful when you mount the wheel side adapter to your wheel. It is in the correct orientation in the first place, so do take your time, there's no rush. The way the two parts interface and lock together with the spring tensioned bars creates a rock solid connection. I can't see in any way, shape or form of it failing or losing integrity through wear and tear. Since the QR2 from SIMUBE is the identical product as the one sold from Fanatec directly, consider the same results with either version. So with that in mind, I would recommend the SIMUBE QR2 for the cost saving. Before we end this one, it might be worth considering not sitting on the fence of this decision for too long, as who knows whether the SIMUBE QR2 parts will be available long into the future. The circumstances of this third-party option on the market in the first place could be, well, let's say, maybe a little bit iffy. There's no guarantee later down the line this cheaper option will remain available. So my advice is take advantage while you can.